the one of the bills that I worked really hard on was a broadband bill, and that one became more of a crisis because of the coronavirus.
Right.
We've known forever that our broadband, our internet services, is not distributed across the state evenly, and within our communities, it's not available at a reasonable price, high-speed internet, to all communities. But it really put the spotlight on it with the coronavirus, and all of us asked to Zoom from home, and students to Zoom to receive an education. And so what we saw is that in many rural communities, there was just no access at all. And students and workers were having to go to a coffee shop or to their local library, right, and sit in the parking lot in order to be able to get service. And so we did this whole series of broadband bills here, and also during the budget allocated in excess of $6 billion to start working on the infrastructure necessary to improve it. So I'm really happy my broadband bill passed and got a signature, and that was one of the pieces of legislation that I worked really hard on, and that was lobbied very heavily by the telco companies.
Wait, is that part of the larger kind of, I guess, broadband for all package?
Yes, that was part of the negotiations that we did with the governor's office in the assembly.
Okay, great. And I guess, I guess how soon is this going to go into effect? And, could communities start seeing better broadband?
Well, there's a number of things. One is that the bills all do something a little bit differently in terms of how we access resources to be able to put out broadband services. My bill requires or allows the CPUC, which is the California Public Utilities Commission, that regulates digital TV, not broadband, but because the companies have wrapped up broadband with digital TV, we get to know where they have their infrastructure. It allows them to get more granular data so that we can find out where broadband is being deployed in the state. And the companies have a franchise that allows them to operate in the state and give us information that has been that has shielded them from the analysis as to whether they're discriminating against poor communities.
Okay, interesting.
That they are prohibited by law from doing that, but because we don't get really good data from them, we suspect, and I can tell you based on who had internet services and who didn't, it looked to me pretty clearly like poor communities were being discriminated against. And so that's number one, is that we're going to get better data. And number two is, right now, if you have a complaint about your service, there's nowhere to go. And so this gives the CPUC the opportunity to get local government involved, to start looking at customer complaints to determine whether their service is meeting all our expectations. So that was my bill. Is it gives some teeth to this franchise that these companies get. The money that we allocated, the $6 billion, is going to go out immediately. It is kind of, as we speak, it's being the maps are getting created to determine where the middle mile is like the freeway system of broadband. And you need that middle mile in order to make sure that you're being able to access as many communities as necessary. And so I expect there's going to be a pilot project that'll be developed and will be deployed within the next year. So there are a number of things that are going to happen all at the same time, and an expenditure of resources to start to build out the infrastructure. So will you get better broadband tomorrow? No. Yeah. But what it's going to do is it's going to start developing the backbone that some of these smaller companies need to be able to come in and offer broadband services, better competition, better service, and and also more accountability because of SB 28, which is the bill that I did.
Okay. Make sure you just click the button below and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all our news and updates.